of this decal, I'm going to go ahead and render it out. And there's two ways that we can go about rendering it out, both with a background and without a background. And it's really going to depend on what you're going to want to do with this asset once you've rendered it out. But I'll go ahead and show you both ways. So the first way is pretty easy, right? With a background. And if I come into here and I come over and bring our header down, I'm just going to go to View and Viewport Render Image. You can see that we're going to get this guy pop up, and this is our final render. So we can go ahead with Image and Save As, and we'll be able to save it in any file format that Blender allows. But if you don't want to have a background here, and would instead prefer to have this as just a single asset with an alpha transparent background, what we'll have to do is just come into our output settings here, or sorry, our render settings, come down to where it says Film, and under our filter size, we'll have a transparent checkbox. And that's going to allow us to cast the background as being transparent. So now when I come back into this view, and I just select our plane there and hide it, I can go ahead under View and Viewport Render Image, and you can see that now it's going to render out our asset with a transparent background. And so we can go ahead and Save As, and you can see that I've already saved out one of each. We're going to want to make sure that we use a file format that is going to allow us to use an alpha channel or transparency, so our JPEGs are out of the question. And we're going to want to make sure that we save it as an RGBA so that we're taking use of that alpha channel. And we can go ahead and Save Image. By using Blender's matcap features, we can generate speedy, efficient decals rather quickly. We no longer need to wait for a render to be able to see exactly what our normals will look like, which expedites the entire design process tenfold. Using some simple modifiers and a few primitive shapes, we can create an endless amount of decal designs to be used in any way that we choose. Thanks again for checking out this CG Cookie tutorial, and all the best in your blending.
And when I say perfect, I mean perfect. Hey guys, welcome back to another Default Cube CG Matter tutorial, and in this one, I'm going to be showing you how to make perfect displacement maps because it seems like nobody knows how to do it correctly. They're missing either the OpenEXR thing, the orthographic camera. Basically, there's a lot of things to juggle around, and that's why nobody can bake displacement maps. And Blender is very guilty of when you go to cycles, and you go to the bake options, which is where you can bake all sorts of different maps. You're going to notice there is no option for bump, and there's no option for height or displacement, which are all essentially the same thing, meaning you're kind of thrown into the wild. You need to figure it out yourself. So let me show you how to do it. So we're going to just switch back to Eevee. So what is the concept? What is it that we're trying to do? Well, imagine, if you will, imagine you have some geometry. In this case, I made this hard surface thing. It's 73-ish thousand faces, meaning that it's too much geometry for this kind of thing, right? Especially if we want to make 10 duplicates of this, then we're getting pretty close to 1,000,000 faces just for, some pretty small details that maybe we want to put all over a corridor. Meaning we want to convert this geometric data into texture data, namely a bump map, height map, or displacement map. And again, Blender has no way for you to do that. So let me show you the best, the perfect, and I'm going to show you the way to do it that isn't missing any of the steps. This recording is a disaster. So you can see I've already made this example displacement map. This is what we're going to try to achieve. And you can see that I've taken the camera, put it above in orthographic mode, and then done a bunch of stuff to extract height information. So that means the first step is our camera view needs to be bird's eye view, needs to be above. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to click N